What's up, y'all? I was popping this D. Boss reacts to this vid. This is how not having romantic relationships in school affected your adult life. Okay, they're getting kind of deep. We're gonna see, how it negatively affected them. I'm assuming. I can think of a few ways that it can have a negative effect, but you also have the benefit of not having to deal with nonsense. Because people in school, they don't be about nothing. They be on some bullshit. All right, it is not common that you'll meet someone in school and then y'all go on to live happily ever after. That is not usually the case. I know some people will come out the woodworks like, well, I've been knowing my boyfriend since I was 5. That's not the case. You're a unicorn. That does not happen 9 times out of 10. All right. For the most part, people break up. They have issues because you're children. Anyway, let's see what they have to say though. Let's watch.
That were never asked out, never asked any dances, never were shown any romantic interest.
I wanted to make a response to this video for such a long time, but I couldn't find it, so I'm super glad I came across it today. First of all, the effect of not having received romantic validation during your formative years, like to the age of 18 or most likely older, cannot be understated. It's very real, and it will mess with you in a very deep, core way. But I actually wanted to talk about how that interacts with dating and entering the dating world as an adult. Dating in the modern age is very casual, but those of us who are late to the game can't treat it as casually as other people can, who have had all these experiences in like high school and college and stuff. I don't exactly know a great way to put this, but as an example, I know that if I were to receive flowers from someone or be held by them in a romantic way, there's like a 90% chance that I would just start breaking down crying. Ideally, the person you're dating should be able to take everything in stride, but at the end of the day, they're still a stranger, and that's a lot to put on someone that you don't know.
I am requesting that scientists do a case study on those of us that were never asked out.
So I watched this video and I think it's relatable and her experiences are valid and stuff. But I think it would be even more interesting if the study was in an intersectional lens, meaning how this might affect people of like different races and stuff. I kind of have a theory that like white women who experience this, it's like they actually really kind of expect that type of romantic validation because they see it all around them in their peers and in media. And as a black person though, as a black woman, you often do not see that, especially if you are in an area where there's not other black people. And in mainstream media, there's not a ton of that either. So like you don't even really expect it, and you don't necessarily doubt yourself. I mean, you do doubt yourself, but a big part of it is just like, oh, well, I'm not getting this attention because like I'm black. It's because of my skin color, which is an integral part of your identity. It's funny how we don't have to wonder. We're just like, oh yeah, racism.
That were never asked out, never asked any.
That's a very specific situation, but
interest whatsoever.
Okay, let's chat about this real quickly. That has been my entire experience, and I'm 24 years old. I remember in high school, I was never invited or asked to any like dances, homecomings, whatever. I never really dated in college. Male interest just isn't something that comes to me. I've never had a boyfriend, etc. Today, I'm completely fine with the fact that I've never had those experiences. But I remember there being a certain point in my life where it's like, wow.
Okay, I'll say it. I was thinking like, girl with them titties, like you didn't get no attention, because I know for sure I hated my breasts growing up because they got me a lot of unwanted attention. So it's interesting that she had a different experience, because I feel like that was the main thing that, yeah.
This happens for everyone else. Why isn't it happening for me? So I took that as an opportunity to look at myself less than as a woman, because I wasn't having these beautiful dating life experiences that everyone else around me was having. And I started to doubt myself and who I was. I moved out of that thought process, and I realized that that is not the case at all. But those life experiences and not having them really shaped a lot of my thought at one point in time, which wasn't good.
I am requesting that scientists
you didn't miss
do a case
nothing
study
though.
on those
Trust
of
me.
us that were never asked out.
I hate how they repeat
Scientist
that.
when you've got your dad. For real.
Oh.
I'm gonna just tell you what my dad said, and he's not wrong. I brought this up a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, I ain't never been asked out on a date. I still don't have a boyfriend. He said it's because you have independent bitch energy. Not gonna lie, I was a little offended at first, but then he explained it as basically, you're a boss-ass bitch. He said, you have independent energy, like it's written on your forehead. You don't even have to say it for men to know, and men are not attracted to that. Men want women that will take care of them. They can literally sniff out if you are independent, so they steer clear. And you know what? I ain't even mad, because I'm not trying to take care of a grown-ass toddler for the rest of my life. You can get that from your mama. You was not getting it from me.
I am requesting that
I'm speaking
scientists
at
do
the
a
end.
case study on those of us that were never asked out.
When I
What was
went
the
to
first thing
college,
I
I was so nervous because I had never been on a date, never been asked out, never asked to dance, let alone to a dance. And now I'm 26, and all of that is still true. Now, most days this doesn't really bother me, but some days it really fucking does. If you didn't already know, I'm asexual, which can make dating difficult. And a big part of me doesn't even want to try. The internalized misogynistic and fat-phobic part of me says, why would they want you now if they didn't even want you when you were younger and skinny? And then the ace part of me goes, girl, this is a good thing. You don't want to deal with their needs. Still, human beings crave connection, and when you're overlooked by your peers for the vast majority of your life, it can feel like a hacksaw straight to your self-esteem. It becomes really easy to pick apart everything that could maybe be wrong with you. But there's nothing wrong with you. All those people that have been overlooking you just aren't ready to be with somebody as special as you are. And when somebody is, remember that your worth was there the whole time, even without them.
I am requesting that scientists do a case study on those
They trying to make themselves feel better, and I get it, but
never were shown any romantic interest whatsoever.
Girl, can we have a little chat about this when I'm catching my breath on this hike? Because boy, I watched this video and there are so many of you that can relate to what she said. Let me see if I can bring a little bit of understanding to what she's talking about. Because during those developmental years, middle school, high school, even college, if our experiences are such that we are never desired, that we're never wanted, that we're not shown any of that attention, especially from the people that we are attracted, then we determine things about ourselves, such as something's wrong with me, or I'm not the kind that is desired. And here's the interesting thing. We treat those as if they're fact. And then we base our life going forward based on those facts. So yeah, why would I expect someone to flirt with me if I already feel like something's wrong with me? Why would I desire to be in a relationship long term if that never seemed like an option? We have to keep in mind, our brain is wired for survival. I know if you want a part 2 on how we can start changing that.
Those of us that were never asked out, never asked any dances, never were shown any romantic interest.
Hello, I would love to join your support group, and I also have some thoughts about this. Having the experience of never being desired when I was younger just makes me realize how I internalized so many things about myself that weren't true or just didn't matter. Like, so many of my thoughts were consumed by, am I not pretty enough? Am I not interesting enough? Am I not smart enough? Am I not funny enough? And not just enough for men, but just in general, was I enough? And as I've gotten older, I've gotten over that, but it's just interesting to me to just sit back and reflect and think about how I really believed that I wasn't enough of a human being just because people weren't desiring me romantically. Like, that just so isn't true, and it's crazy how we internalize those things about ourselves. Another consequence of the whole never being desired thing is, like, now that I'm older, being in a relationship is just not a priority to me, because my whole life it's never felt like an option that I've had. I'll probably make a part 2 because I have a lot more thoughts, but that's just it for now.
I recognize her. She the one who was talking about, oh, I don't even want a relationship because all my friends, they in toxic relationships and I don't want to deal with that. And y'all, I remember her. What video was that? I don't know, but if you know, you know. That was her, and here she go again talking about relationships. Look, she's talking to someone in a different location.
In this,
what else you got to say, girl?
Another consequence of the whole never being desired when you were younger situation is not knowing how to interpret flirting versus being nice. So I always assumed, and still do, that nobody could ever like me, so if anybody's ever expressing interest in me, it has to be a joke. So I get pretty dismissive as like a defense mechanism, but at the same time, there's also this consequence of easily getting attached to anybody who gives you attention because it just feels so rare, like you're never gonna get it again. So I think lots of people experience varying degrees of this. I have definitely noticed myself in unhealthy situations, even though I've never actually been in a relationship before. Wow, isn't romantic trauma so much fun? But I'm thankful for
She was the one who was saying, I'm single by choice, and I did kind of speak negatively of her. I mean, not too bad, but I made a few little comments and I was like laughing. And it's interesting how I already knew this was the case about her before she even said this. In that last video, I already fucking knew it.
My trauma because it helped me develop.
But I feel for her. I feel for good
sis.
sis.
It was worth it.
Those of us that were never asked out, never asked any dances, never were shown any romantic interest.
I keep feeling like she's fucking me up.
Yes, I can confirm because I'm 27 and have never been properly asked out or even taken out on a date ever. Not in junior high, which, you know, that's not really legit, but whatever. Not in high school, not in college.
I don't know if she's trolling or not.
In the year that I've been in grad school, it just hasn't happened, and it's definitely fucked with my head because I have a lot of social anxiety from being isolated.
Maybe she not. I'm confused though.
Not being shown affection in the same way that my peers were, and I don't know how long that's gonna take to unlearn, and it actually makes me even more anxious than I already am.
Okay, my bad if she not trolling. I thought she was, alright? Don't come for me because I ain't no fucking psychic, alright? So I had no way of knowing. And I still don't know, okay? I don't know if this is just how she is, or if she's being funny, or if she's purposely talking like that. I don't know what's going on, and even if she is that way, I don't know what condition this would be. I'm gonna leave it alone though, but I'm just confused.
We're never
But let's move on because I don't know what's happening
because I'm
there.
now just processing all of this.
I'm not trying to laugh at her.
Using myself as a case study, here's some conclusions I've come to. Obviously made me super insecure about my looks and personality, even though I always had people tell me, oh, you're so pretty, why don't you have a boyfriend? And then that oddly made me more insecure as well, that comment. Reflecting on it now, literally never being asked to a dance. Like, I deserve to be asked to prom. Like, showing up to prom pictures with a huge group of people and being the only one there without a date, low-key traumatizing. Now, as a 22-year-old, I still have no idea when someone's flirting with me. I just assume people are being nice to me, and then I'll have, like, friends be like, oh, no, they're flirting with you. I have no idea, because that's just not a common occurrence for me. I never even had a talking stage or, like, hugged someone romantically until my sophomore year of college. And now I'm so disinterested in romantic relationships, like, it doesn't even cross my mind or is, like, on my agenda for life. I can go my whole life without a romantic relationship, I believe.
Alright, there's a lot to unpack here in this video, but I'm going to try to keep this short. First off, I think a lot of these people were just trying to make themselves feel better about the fact that they have never received any romantic attention. And I get it. I'm not going to knock them for it because it's a defense mechanism, but it's like, I don't think lying to yourself is the solution. Like the last girl who's like, oh, I think I can go the rest of my life without, having a romantic relationship. It's like, you don't want to do that though. Like, just let's be honest with ourselves. We as human beings, we crave companionship. We crave social interaction. And we crave that closeness with a partner. So lying to yourself and saying, I don't ever need anybody. Nobody ever has to like me and I will be okay. Like you're just lying to yourself, and that's not healthy. And I'm not saying you have to only be interested in that and be desperate for it at all, but you also shouldn't lie to yourself. And like the chick who said that her and her dad concluded that, oh, nobody has ever tried to date her because she's too much of a boss ass bitch and she got boss energy and she's too independent. It's like, bro, come on. I've witnessed many men approach women who have that same energy. That's not true, sis. It's just not. It's not. And some people will argue that I have that same energy. I even have a resting bitch face, which I'm sure intimidates some men, but that doesn't stop them from approaching women. It just doesn't. So don't think it's healthy to lie to yourself like that. I think it's important to work on yourself and focus on being the best version of yourself that you can be, physically, mentally, emotionally. And I do honestly believe that it will naturally come to you if, you're just patient. The only reason why I'm hesitating is because, you know what, there's somebody for everybody. So I don't even want to say this, but I was going to say I am kind of hesitant to say that because, let's say, if you're a woman, it's especially hard for women because men are visual creatures, and if you just completely let yourself go, you don't take care of yourself, like, you are going to really limit your options, and you're really going to significantly reduce the chances that a man will approach you at all. That's just the reality. That's the harsh world we live in. So, I think it is important to work on yourself and try to be the best version of yourself that you can be, not only just for a man, but for yourself as well. But that's something to be honest about as women. We can't just be like, I don't want, if men don't want me when I'm fat and busted and my skin is fucked up, then they don't deserve me. It's like, but okay, that's not the world we live in. All right. They like attractive women. So you need to put that effort into your appearance. You just need to, if that's what you want, and you do want it. Okay, don't lie to yourself and say you don't want a relationship or you don't ever want to have sex or have a partner like everybody does. So yeah, it was just a lot of capping in this video. It's a lot of capping in this video. It was a little overwhelming, but like I said, I get it. I understand the defense mechanism. Anyway, if you have any advice, please feel free to leave it down in the comments below. I feel for people who have had this experience though. But hopefully it gets better. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think though. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see you on the next one.